Could Raccoon City be saved? In Resident Evil 3, Raccoon City had been under siege by the T-virus outbreak for 192 hours. Within this time frame, an untold number of people either died, became infected, or simply vanished. Any and all police and military personnel had either abandoned the city or were killed within its limits. This was all before the US government deployed a thermonuclear bomb to the small city on the morning of October 1st, 1998. The result was a death toll of over 100,000 innocent lives. This was done in an attempt to keep the virus from spreading outside the city. But could the city have been spared this fiery fate? Just within the first 72 hours of the outbreak's start, the city was absolutely crawling with the undead. While at this point there were still several decently large pockets of survivors within the city, it is estimated that the undead had already outnumbered the living 80 to 1, which would leave at most 1,000 to 150 living people. Though this is a generous amount given the absolutely horrifying scenario, this would have already deemed the city as a lost cause to the US military, as most of the dispatched military and police were already vastly overwhelmed, and sending in reinforcements would be an incredibly risky move considering most killed in action will simply become more of the undead. So a direct military assault would be out of the question. So what about a siege? Well, a siege likely would be an exercise in futility, and would not only lead to certain death for any survivors still inside the quarantine zone, but this would put more military personnel in danger of infection in case any zombies get too close and overwhelm a link in the siege wall. You have to remember, sieges are meant to wear the enemy down by depriving them of resources like food and reinforcements. But the enemy they are facing doesn't need food, water, sleep, or anything to survive. So this would go absolutely nowhere and would likely just lead to the infection spreading. What about possibly curing the infection? Now it would be possible for the US to figure out a cure, but not likely as fast and as effectively as they would need to. Remember, they are on a tight time crunch, and every day that goes by, the chance of a wider spread outbreak increases. So discovering a cure without prior knowledge of Umbrella's vaccine would be close to impossible for any team of scientists to accomplish given the scenario. Continued in Part 2.